Hey everybody, it's Dusti Martin with Platinum Living Realty, popping in to give you your February 2020 real estate market update for the town of Carefree and Cave Creek. So let's just jump right into it. Our active listings were down in January 2020, 26.8%, and our sold listings were up a whopping 77.5%. That means that there are more and more buyers on the market and less inventory. So that means if you're getting ready to go buy something, make sure you have all your ducks in a row. You've got all your pre-qualifications, all your financial documentation into your lender, and that you are ready with papers in hand to sign on the dotted line the minute you find the property that you're looking for. One of the other things people should know is that in the month of January, the report of the number of people who applied for new mortgages skyrocketed. That means there are a lot of buyers about to be in the market that aren't already there or weren't there in November and December. And nobody is no longer waiting for what most would call the spring selling season. So that means if you're looking to sell your property, you better get in short order and get your stuff figured out, because a lot of buyers are going to be out pounding pavement right now. So with that said, our median sales price went up per square foot 11.2% over this time last year. So it's currently sitting at $229.70 per square foot for all of Carefree and Cave Creek. Now it does vary by neighborhood, so keep in mind it may not be exactly that for your neighborhood or your part of town. But if you have questions about that, you can always call me and I'll help you out. Our months of supply is down 58.8%. That's huge. That means for overall, for both towns, it's at 3.69 months of supply of inventory, meaning if nothing else came on the market from this day forward, everything would be gone off the market in 3.69 months. That is technically a seller's market, as is anything under the 4-month mark. Remember, 4 months or less is sellers, 4 to 7 is an even stable market, and then 8 months or more is a buyer's market. So then we get to the median days on market. That is actually down 29.3% year over year. And so we're currently sitting at 53 days on market for all of Carefree and Cave Creek. If you take into account for the fact that most transactions are 30 to 35 days, subtract that 20 days, that's less than 3 weeks. That's about how long it's taking to sell a property when it is marketed, priced, and shown appropriately. So keep that in mind. So let's jump into the stats by price point. For one of the first times since I've been doing these videos, there aren't any stats for anything under the $300,000 mark, and that's because there's simply not enough homes and not enough sales for those properties to be calculated. So currently the supply, there's only 2 under 100,000 and only 3 properties between 200 or 11 properties between the $200,000 and $300,000 mark. So keep that in mind. If you have one of those type properties like a condo or a townhome under the $300,000 mark, there's not a lot of data out there. That's something that's going to have to be calculated for each and every neighborhood, because our larger stats, there just isn't enough data there. So it probably has to be done by neighborhood. So moving on, when we get to the $300,000 to $500,000 price range, we're at a 1.26 months of supply for that price range. That's a white hot seller's market. So lucky you, seller. But if you're a buyer, like I said, you've got to have all your ducks in a row and be ready to make an offer the minute you find something. Don't be waiting around till the weekend or whatever, because chances are it may just be gone. When we get to the 500,000 to 700,000 mark, we're at 4.06 months of supply. So we're almost, let's call it a seller's market, but you're almost back into a stable market, meaning it no longer benefits both the buyer or the seller. Now technically 4 months or less is a seller's market, so at 4.06, you're very close to it, and you may be able to treat it as such, but you do need to be a little mindful when you're pricing your home and marketing your home that you're taking into account all the other properties on the market that you're going to be competing with, and you need to ask yourself, is my home to any buyer going to justify the price if they can get the same thing down the street for a little bit less? So keep that in mind. In the $700 to $1 million dollar range, you're at 4.14 months of supply. So again, not technically a seller's market, but very close to it. And again, you got to be mindful of what your property looks like in comparison from a buyer's point of view. And then we get to the $1 to $3 million mark, and we're at a 7.9 month supply. So almost a buyer's market. This is significant because it's not an actual seller's market or buyer's market. A buyer's market's 8 months or more, and it's just under 8. So keep that in mind. You're probably not going to have people pounding down your door. It's not a seller's market. It's even stable. It's trending towards a buyer's market, and so the buyer in this scenario does have more leverage. You just need to be a little compare it year over year. If you look at this this price range last year, there was a 14.4 month supply in Cave Creek and Carefree for $1 to $3 million homes. So you went from over a year's supply to less than 8 months. So basically that statistic was reduced by 33%. That inventory went down 33% without losing a ton of buyers. So keep that in mind. If you guys have any questions, let me know. My number is 480-717-9405. I'm happy to dial in the numbers for your specific zip code or neighborhood. But also, if you found any of this information valuable, click the like button, share it with a friend. I would love to be able to bring you more information. Have a great day. Bye.